Hello and welcome to another doll repainting video on my channel. In this video, I created a butterfly fairy doll. I used a Reboot Draculaura that has a mechanism and has wings that open and close. I didn't know what to do with this doll in the beginning, but then it just hit me. So I'm gonna start off by cutting all of her hair off as close to the scalp as possible. This way it will be easier to remove the hair from the inside. I'm putting her into warm water to soften up the glue, and using tweezers, I'm pulling out the hair from the inside. Which is icky and disgusting. Then I'm taking acetone and I'm removing her factory paint. And also from the head as well. Then I'm going to cut off the mechanism, not all the way, I just want to make the level smaller. Shaving off some excess bits using an X-Acto knife, and then to open up the wings, I'm cutting off the part where it's like a stopper, let's say. And this way I can pop it open. And I managed to pierce through the fabric, but that's fine since we're changing it. I'm going to shave off the plastic t-shirt that she has on, and I'm using a nail file and my X-Acto knife for that. And then I'm going to create a new one using epoxy sculpt. I spread it out, made it nice and thin, and then I'm going to be cutting off small bits to create a new corset. I wanted to give it a heart shape in the front. And then I took two small equal parts and I'm going to create her some nice pixie ears. After I get the initial shape, I'm going to use my tool just to give her some folds and make the ears look more realistic. After that, I paint her body white and also the black structure of the wings. And once it's dry, I'm gonna go over the structure of the wings with this icy metallic baby blue color, and also a light metallic pink on her corset. And I think I did about 2 or 3 layers for each. Once I'm happy with the color, I'm going to sketch out where I want my design, and I'm going to keep bedazzling all of it with rhinestones, and I'm using gem glue. After that, I got this iridescent fabric and I'm going to cut off petals, and I'm going to glue them on the sides of her corset, one on each side. And this is how it looks, and I also glued a huge gemstone to hide the connection. I'm adding a few rhinestones on her underwear. After that, I'm taking the initial fabric of the wings and I'm going to trace it on a piece of paper to create my new shape. I passed it over with my pen just so it's easier for me to sketch out the new shape, so I can erase and retry until I get the perfect shape. And this is kind of the shape I'm going for. I will cut it out and then sketch it and trace it on my fabric. I'm using an iridescent blue fabric, and I'm using soft pastel, which is chalk, and it's easy to wash off after. And I also went over the fabric with some PVA glue and water so it stops it from fraying. I put on the fabric again, the original fabric, just to see where I need to poke the holes so I can put them on the structure. and I'm using a needle that I heat up on a candle just to pierce through the fabric. Once I'm done, I'm going to put them on the structure and then snap it to close it. After that, I'm using a pencil just to sketch out where I want the veins of the wings to go. And then I'm going to mix some silver and black acrylic just to create and paint the veins on the wings. After that, I'm moving on to the face up. I've sprayed her with Mr. Super Clear. I have done 3 layers and I'm painting the ears. After that, I sprayed with Mr. Super Clear again, and I will start to do some blushing and shadowing on the ears. And now moving on to the face. I'm doing again some blushing and shadowing and contouring, and with the help of a Q-tip, I blend everything. Some rosy cheeks. Some more blushing around the forehead area, and now I'm moving on to the face up. I will be giving her some nostrils, and then I will take a light brown pencil, sketch out where I want the eyes. The reason I start off with light colors is so that I can erase them easier without staining the plastic and having to use acetone, which will ruin the whole thing and you will have to start over again. So this is kind of how I want the eye shape, trying to match the eyes. And now I'm sketching out the eyebrows, which I made them a little bit more pointing up for that fairy look. As for the lips, I decided to go for a more nude color. And the eyes, I made them blue just to match her wings. I'm going for a darker color outside and a lighter on the inside to get a nice gradient effect. And now I have sprayed with Mr. Super Clear again, and I'm going over everything to intensify the colors. And now I am adding my blacks. And in general, going over everything, blending it and intensifying it. Adding some highlights on the lip. After that, I'm using a tiny, really tiny brush, and I'm going into the cracks of the lips. And I will be using watercolor to separate the lips, give them dimension. Giving some extra color to the brows. I give it some green just to match the hair that I will be giving her later. I'm on another layer now, and I added a little bit black on the lips just to give them an extra depth, and yet again going over everything to intensify the colors. I wanted the eyebrows to be a little bit stronger, so I added some little brown lines in there. And now I'm moving on to pastels again just to give her some eyeshadow, and I pulled it out for like a little bit of a catty look. So I extended the eyeshadow a little bit outside the brow, and also some white under the brow just to intensify it, that highlight on the brow bone. Again, going over the browns just to intensify the eyeshadow. And I'm on another layer of Mr. Super Clear. I'm going to add the catch lights on the eyes using acrylic paint. And now I'm going to use the MAC eyeshadow to highlight her ears, brow bone, and cheekbones. And her nose bridge, also added some pink glitter. I'm going to seal everything with Mr. Super Clear. And I am going to move on to her hair. I got this wefts from AliExpress. So I glued them on using a hot glue gun, but on the top I created weft because their stitching is very thick. So I glued the hair immediately on the head using Mod Podge. Now I'm creating her accessories. I'm using polymer clay just to make the base. I'm going to put pins in it so I can poke it into the head later. I made tiny wings using Angelina film and paper. I'm using two baby blue flowers and I got some thread and I put some beads on it. I'm gluing everything on the base that I created, putting some rhinestones on it. And here are her head accessories. I'm also going to bedazzle her wings a little bit. Paint the hands because I got a doll lot which said that only 2 dolls had missing hands, but it ended up being like 11 and I was so upset. So I got hands from another doll. I painted them pink. Now it's time for her eyelashes, which is my favorite part. I'm going to glue them using the gem glue. I added some ribbons on her feet, tied them up, and I'm going to bedazzle those again. I took some baby blue tulle and I'm going to pass the ribbon through, pull it, and make it into 2 tiny ruffles, and I'm going to glue those on the sides, on her hips, let's say, and I'm going to bedazzle those as well. So she's got a lot of rhinestones on her. So here's the finished doll. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will leave my Instagram in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I'm waiting for your comments and any doll suggestions. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.